Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's session. For those who don't know my voice, it's Mike that's going to be doing the session today, and we do have Ollie on the live chat if you do have any questions throughout the session. We'll be staying around at the end for if anyone has anything to ask them. So what we're going to be covering today, it's quite a short session that we're going to be going through, but something that hopefully you'll find useful to enable you to navigate through Prima and use Prima in a more efficient way. Is so how you can set up dashboard filters, user filters, so when you're searching and navigating through, you can get the search that you exactly want relatively quickly. And then the final thing we're covering is how you can manipulate your grids and the layout of them in order to make them sort of the information that you're looking for pop out straight away. So first thing I'm going to be covering is the dashboard tiles and filters. So when you do first log into Prima, you will be met with the dashboard. Now at the moment I've not got anything set up on here, but you can set up sort of a multiple range of dashboard tiles in here that the majority of them relate to each individual section of Prima itself. So you can have one for your sales orders, your requirements, your purchase orders, all to make sure that you can you know where exactly you're up to throughout the day, and it's just a quick glance that you can see, well, we've got sort of 5 outstanding quotes to process, we've got 6 sales orders, we've got 3 lines in requirements, and this can all be done from the dashboard tiles. To set one up, we want to hit this organize tile button in the left hand corner of the dashboard, and we've got the full list of dashboard tiles that we can set up. So if I just drag this across, we can see that we've got sort of dispatch notes, quotes, orders, and you can manipulate this. These are just sort of standard settings that are set up, but you can go into these further and manipulate it purely based on your users. So all of this, it's sort of on a user by user basis, so you necessarily, whatever you set up on here may not be relevant for another sort of one of your colleagues, so they can manipulate it to suit what they need. To set one up, we just go through the orders one at the moment. We've got a priority order, so depending on what order you want it to show, you can give it an order, and it's based on a sort of a number, so sort of 1 to however many, depending on what you've got set up. But if you want something to show at the front, put lower the number. We also have the option to show it in the dashboard and show on a 0 value. Once you've enabled them, we just hit save and close. In the background the tile opens. Now as standard for these, there's just a bit of a standard search, so for this one it's outstanding sales orders. But if I just double click into this, it'll preload that search. So that's how it's making quicker. From dashboard, rather than you going into the SOP, searching on outstanding, you can easily just click that button, it goes straight into there for you with that search. But you may want to manipulate that a little bit further, so rather than it just being outstanding sort of orders for everyone, you might want to do it on just yourself. So if you expand the search, look for yourself as a salesperson or creator, and then search on that again, it'll return your list, but that's just what's there at the moment. You may want that to show for everything, so rather than when you click into the dashboard tile it goes to everyone, do you want it to just go to your outstanding sales orders? So in the top right hand corner we've got these 4 options, and the one with sort of the number of lines, the dashboard tiles. And if you want to amend the search that it's doing so it does a search more relevant to yourself, we can come in here, we can right click, hit edit filter. That's after we've made the change to the search. So this is searching just on outstanding orders where myself is the salesperson. I can hit edit filter, and then we can rename it. So outstanding sales orders Mike. If I click OK and then go back to the dashboard, we can see that it says outstanding sales orders Mike. And if I just close this down, if I double click into it, it goes straight into that search. So using that, you can use that in your requirements to search on a specific date, sales or purchase orders for a sort of specific supplier, wherever it might be that your sort of suits your role and makes this more efficient for yourself. So again, not everyone will have the same dashboard tiles, the same filters, because it's all relevant to making your job easier and your time easier using sort of this system. So it's all about personalising it to your own use. The next thing that we do have in here is the user filters. Now this is something that is important to use, especially if you're going to be doing multiple searches. So for example, you may at a quick glance want to see sort of any orders that have been confirmed that week if you sort of head of a sales team. So you just want a quick glance, see, yeah, we've done so many orders. And what we can do in here, you can come in here and search on, say, date authorized, and do fixed period and say this week. So what we're doing is anything that's been authorized during this week. If I hit search, rather than me going into here and searching for that specifically, next to the dashboard tile option we do have the user filters. Now there's no user defined search at the moment, But once we've done the search, if I come in here and right click this option, it gives me the ability for a new filter, and I can name this. So if I want to do orders authorised this week, based on the search that I've just done there, rather than me having to go into the sales orders, so if we just started at blank, rather than me having to go into the sales orders, expand the search on date authorised, fixed period, and then this week, which is sort of a number of clicks, what I can just do simply is click this filter, and see how when I hover over it says orders authorised this week, it'll do that search straight away for me. So it's making them user sort of them frequent searches you're going to be doing. So orders authorised this week, sort of if you're looking for sort of anything that you've done over the past month, that's not just in sales orders, this is across all the lookups. So it's not defined just for the sales order lookup. You can use it in the quotes, purchase orders, dispatch, wherever it might be. You can use these filters. The very final thing that I want to cover, just after we've been through them too, is how you can define the grid layout. One of the best places to actually manipulate this data is within your requirements. So when you're in here, rather than you looking at sort of all this information and something you may need useful, such as your notes against the buy-in notes, or who the supplier is, who the customer is, wherever it might be, at a glance it's not, you've got to scroll across to find that, and sort of that scroll you can be doing it multiple times a day. It can sort of add up sort of valuable seconds and minutes when you're looking for information straight away. So what we can do in here, if I just search on something that's requested, we can manipulate where these sort of show at the top. So it's a case of we can just drag them across, and you see how that blue line's showing up. So what you can do, the relevant sort of field, so your buy-in notes, the supplier, rather than you having to search across, you can just drag and drop and put them exactly where you want. So if you want the supplier to be one of the first options, you can just drag it right across, and it'll be at the front, so you can see exactly the supplier for this item, rather than having to go across and search. Once you've done that, if you want to save it, you can just right click and hit the save settings. So in the requirements, in your sales orders, you can manipulate the layout to have stuff such as your supplier, your buy-in notes, sort of your pack sizes, all that information relatively sort of in your face when you're searching, rather than having to scroll across, find it, go back, making sure it's the right item. Using sort of these filters, these dashboard layout filters and the layouts, it means that you can manipulate and find exactly what information you're looking for quicker and easier, rather than having to do sort of specific searches that take numerous clicks. Using this makes your time more efficient. If you've got any questions about the session we covered today, just please let us know. We're going to hang around for a bit in the chat, or if you want some more one-to-one training on these topics to make your life easier when you're using Prima, just let us know and contact our training team. More than happy to cover that with you. But if you have any questions, we'll be hanging around for a bit. But apart from that, thanks for your time today, and I hope you all have a great weekend.